Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today is of course a very exciting day. Hopefully by now a lot of you guys have had a chance to jump in and start your adventure, or you will be doing so very soon. But in this video I want to show you guys a brand new exotic hunter chest piece that I got from an exotic engram whilst playing through the game. This is not one of those armor pieces you will encounter via story progression. This is from an exotic engram, and with that being said, it's a little bit rarer. It's not necessarily one of those things that you'll see, at least to begin with, so I thought we'd dive in, take a look at it, show you guys what it looks like, talk about the perks, see it in action, all that good stuff. So of course, if you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions, let me know what you guys think of it, let me know how you guys are getting on in Destiny 2, all that good stuff. And of course, just before I get started, as a reminder, I am also running two giveaways right now. One of them is for some Destiny 2 figures, and the other is for a second PS4 Pro. The first PS4 Pro giveaway rounded up the other day, but I kicked off a second one that runs for the next 2 weeks to give you guys another chance to win. But anyway, turn your attention to the armor piece. So this is of course my character, he's wearing it right now, and the armor piece itself is called the Dragon's Shadow. It looks really, really cool. It's got this kind of, obviously this big dragon head in the middle of it, and these sort of leather straps around it. You can't see the back of it too clearly because of course I have a cape, and I foolishly ditched my no cape, if you see what I mean, the one that kind of doesn't cover your back, so I don't really have that as an option. But either way, it looks pretty cool. But if we dive in and actually take a better look at it, you can of course see this is it up close. So if I hide that, you can of course see the really kind of intricate pattern behind it. It almost looks like kind of samurai vest, or the sort of thing you might have in some kind of oriental armor set, but that is what it looks like. However, if we jump over here, the main perk is the Wraith Metal Mail. Wraith Metal Mail grants increased movement and weapon handling speed for a short time after dodging. So this is of course one of those ones that you can actually get use of no matter what subclass you choose. Of course, some exotic items do link specifically to certain subclasses, but since the hunters have the class ability for dodging, then this means whether you are Night Stalker, Gunslinger, or Arcstrider, any of those do have access to a dodge, which means any of those can also benefit from this armor piece. So that in itself is pretty nice. Not necessarily the most interesting perk off the bat, especially when you kind of consider some of the other options. And it's one of those kind of strange things where the hunter seems to have a couple of options for exotic pieces that effectively influence your weapon handling, whether it be for sidearms, hand cannons and stuff. So it seems a bit of a cop-out for exotic pieces, but either way, it is what it is. And the main thing is that because, as mentioned, it is tied to your evasive maneuvers, your dodging, then it does mean you can use it no matter what the set. On top of that, you also have the option between Plasteel Reinforced mod, which increases your resilience, or you can of course choose the Restorative mod to increase your health recovery. Now down here you have your typical mods. You can of course infuse. Do bear in mind, to infuse you will need legendary shards, and they come from dismantling legendary gear, unless of course you want to put an exotic item into it, in which case it just costs you some glimmer. But either way, infusion is a thing. You do of course have the option down here to put some shaders on, so for those of you guys that want to see what it looks like, then these are a few that I picked up along my way. You can see that it does actually kind of give you some decent colouring options. Obviously in the past some of the exotics didn't necessarily colour too well. This one is actually pretty cool, especially when you throw on something like the Nebula Rose. The top layer doesn't change too much, but some of the other layers do of course, you know, change to match and whatnot. So you do have some rather interesting options if you want to match it with your gear. I'm actually not in a position yet where I'm using my shaders. I kind of want to sort of save them until I actually start getting some good gear that I actually want to hang on to, but either way, you do have shader options. But of course, the final thing you have here is your gear mod slot. Now, by default, it comes with the Void Paragon mod, so you have the class abilities recharge faster when using a Void subclass, which is actually pretty handy because I myself run with Night Stalker, so I'm actually going to get some benefit out of that. However, a few other options I have here are things like the Arc Paragon mod, so I can of course swap that for Arc subclasses. I have the Kinetic Counterbalance mod, so I can reduce recoil for kinetic weapons. And I also have the Power Bracket mod, so I improve my weapon handling with power weapons. So there are of course a fair few things here. There are a lot more you can get. Some of these drop from Bright Engrams, so you can of course, you know, swap these in and out. So this side of things on the gear front does of course allow a certain degree of customization. Now the other thing you can of course see with these gear pieces and any exotic item is of course if you hold down L2 you can bring up the lore tab. So I will hold this here for a second for those of you guys that are interested. You can read this for yourself. You can pause the video right now if you want to actually read the whole thing, but this is the lore for the Dragon's Shadow chest piece. So with that being said, that is pretty much all there is for the time being. So what I'm going to do is leave you guys with a little bit of gameplay just to show you this in action. So as a reminder, of course, the main thing with this is that after I dodge, so whether that be the marksman's dodge or the gambler's dodge, anything that triggers a dodge after that point, I then get increased movement speed and weapon handling for a short time. So you can see that in some of the gameplay, just doing some patrol stuff. So there will be no spoilers in this. I won't be doing any missions. It will just be random patrol stuff with my character, so you can of course see what it looks like in action. But that's pretty much it. So for the time being, that's all from me. I will have a second video coming on later on tonight just to kind of go over the Night Stalker subclass, because I've just got that myself. And I want to explain to you guys how to get those new subclasses in the event you want them. So that will be dropping shortly after this one. I just need to go and finish editing it. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But until then, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.